Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
4 down, 40%, like 80.
They'll run on first down. Turner, and room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Newton now to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the first down.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. Certainly not how they envisioned.
First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now out comes Minnesota. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they...
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Shaquille Barrett. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Escaping the pressure right. The quick feet by Jackson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
The sack on first down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation. But didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first.
Detroit! Detroit!
All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 51 the mic.
Jackson on first down. Going deep downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Here's Barkley. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So that drive 7 plays in length. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Able to fight through 1 tackle. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down, Turner. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch 40%. 180.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The 40. The 20. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7.
4 down. Check.
Ready. 180.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-0 is our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
You got 4.
Ready. 780.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Good! Good, good! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. On target over the middle to Hill. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Flushed out right. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
From the gun, Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Curry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Jackson going to throw again. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tyreek Hill, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Set. 180.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
All I remember from my experience as a defender, when the big fella gets the football, you've got to get on him early before he gets a chance to get up ahead of steam, because once he does that, he's going to leave a lot of tacklers in his wake.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside and have to take us through the week. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And with that sack partner, he just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack artists has been added to. This man now goes to the head of the class. Carve out a new spot for him.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. As the offense takes the field, we zero in on Lamar Jackson. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever. Vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Now Jackson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Gone!
Watch 85, ball's going 85. Watch 85.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The Vikings send out their punter. Marquise Lee deep to return. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. $62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. And coming out now, the Broncos. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
Hey. Set 180.
On 2nd down now, Turner, and he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. And another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Hey, 4 down.
You got set. 180.
Switch.
On 3rd down, it's Turner, and able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Marquette King now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded just inside the 30. And a second spin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And going deep for Hill. And this one is incomplete. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. A nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one 28 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. First down, here's the run with Cook. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, Turner, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that'll bring up a third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On second down now. Turner, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, it's Barkley. Pretty move. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Cook following the penalty. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
The good old toss play, and this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. On second down, here's Barkley. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I do.
The ball comes out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They come out here in the eye. Throwing is Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Jackson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now it's Newton. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Out of the gun, Newton. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. My goodness, make it 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And oh, that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Now here's Ross. And an alley to run. And now out comes Minnesota. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Now Jackson on second down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jake Ryan. Tough to handle on that yards. He gets him for a loss of 5. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Jackson. Going deep downfield for Ross. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
You don't want nothing.
Gun!
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike.
4th down, here's Jackson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Here's Newton, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Completes it to Lee. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. On 1st down, Newton. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Newton. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you it's not very good.
Leopard! Over!
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
No. Check. Patriot.
Watch the flood. Motion. Pop.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
Jackson now to throw on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
Gun! 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 Gun!
50.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Over!
Here's Jackson throwing again. And going deep for Hill. That's going to be caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Vikings, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time.
you.